How y'all doing? I'm Reginald Bullock here with Trey for Just Living Life, and this is our second
Yep.
time recording. So thank you for rejoining us. And Trey, what do you have to say?
I got a question. Like, should we call this episode 2 or episode 1? I had it personally as episode 1 because it was, the pilot was the last time. So that's why I just wanted to make sure. 'Cause you said 2, but they might have gotten confused. So I just want to make sure they understand. I was gonna classify it as episode 1. You got any problems with that?
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
Now, the difference is, though, suppose we edit it and break it into different sections.
Mm,
Like the first one we did was pretty long.
it was pretty
How
good.
many? How long was
I think I had like 23 to 26 segments out of that.
it? Yeah. So is each segment an episode?
It's like the overall thing would be an episode. Each one, each smaller piece, each smaller video would be a segment in itself. So that's what it'll be. But each overall video, like the long one, that hour long, 2 hour long,
So
possibly,
E1,
yeah,
S1, E1, S2,
yeah.
E1, S3. So this is E2.
This will be We'll make this one E1. Let's make this one E1.
What was the last one?
The pilot E0.
Okay. This is us, just living life here with Trey. And this is reality. And the thing that we wanted to do was to have two people who are not necessarily putting things together in a static way that, we rehearsed this for days and days and days. And now you're getting the show based on how we rehearsed it. No, you're getting authentic, real talk from real brothers who live real life because we just live it and we're sharing it with you. And what you just heard is an example of just how things come together. And
Yeah.
that's the reality of how things come together in life. So,
Exactly. That was a very ad hoc question. It was a very ad hoc question I gave you. But you talked about changing a foundation, or we talked about changing a foundation, building upon a foundation. So what's the difference for you between building upon a foundation or I guess building a foundation versus expanding? Because I think some people think that it might be the same thing, but I personally think it's different. So
why do you think it's different?
So I think when you think building a foundation, that's like starting up, right? Like you said, like there was a foundation that was put on top of something else. Well, like expansion is that put on top of something
I
else.
understand what
So
you're saying.
yes, that's
So
why.
to that extent, yeah, you're true. I mean, Amazon built the foundation
Mhm,
and then they expanded.
mhm, mhm.
So, and they're still expanding, right? They got
Right.
AWS. That's the expansion of what they had already built.
Mhm.
We're saying the same thing.
Right.
But if we were to expound upon the expansion of the foundation,
Mhm.
right? I think it is, do you have a solid foundation that no matter what, it's gonna stand true and is solid.
Mhm.
And if you did nothing else, that foundation in and of itself allows you to grow
Right.
at whatever the normal rate is
Mhm.
of growth. If you're building houses, well, you used to build, 10 houses and now you build 20 and now you build 100.
Mhm.
But the expansion of it could be, you don't just build houses, you handle landscaping, you handle financing, you handle other types of real estate, not just houses. You deal with office buildings and you deal with farmland, and now you're selling equipment.
Mhm.
And now you're dealing with all of the appliances that go into the house. And now you have a HGTV channel and you're selling other stuff. And now you have, and folks come from the hip hop community, pimp my house, And so that's expansion.
Mhm.
But you started off just building houses.
Right. Okay. Okay. Now, when you have a strong foundation, right? I think it's very easy to build upon.
Mhm.
But then I also think maybe it's not though, because it's still you're still building, you're still evolving, you're still growing. So would you say it's strong? It's easy to build upon a strong foundation, or is it just an easier task compared to if you're not? Because I started to think it's easy, but then I realized it's still hard work. You're still hustling in the day. So I think some people might think it's easy, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on that because I kind of changed my thought process.
I think it's easier,
Mm,
but not easy.
mm,
Having a foundation, a solid foundation is solid. It's good. You can work with that.
right.
Here's an example. There are so many different types of structures
Mm,
that are built over top of water. But in order for those structures to be there, they must have a foundation.
Right.
It starts with pilings in the ground, building a bridge,
Yeah.
right? And so somehow you got to dig into the ground, get it solid, build all these pilings, and then work from that to build a foundation. Once you have that foundation, you can go high, you can go wide, you can do whatever you need to do. But until you have that foundation, so those are the pilings there. Now you can go in many different directions from there. I think that therefore, once you have that, it's easier to put a lighting system on a bridge. It's easier to expand a bridge. It's easier to improve upon the bridge. But until you have that solid foundation of a bridge, the rest of the stuff can never happen.
Okay. Now, what if you're trying to expand upon a shaky foundation? What's actually, let me ask this.
It's called risk.
It's called risk. There's also positive risk too, though. Like I think sometimes when you're building upon a strong foundation, you can have risk as well too. Like
definitely can have risk.
Yeah,
but if you're building upon a shaky foundation, the simple fact that it's shaky, is that a foundation?
I mean, some people like to work with shaky.
I get it, but that's not a foundation.
That's fair. It's not a good foundation to build upon. So when you were saying, or we were talking earlier about like it's hard to tear down and erase a foundation. When I'm thinking,
I didn't say that.
I thought you said that earlier. In terms of like, it's harder to like you said it was harder to like erase a foundation completely.
No, I didn't say erase it completely. I don't think I said that. We'll see in the replay.
Yeah, we'll see in the replay.
I don't think I said erase it completely. We may have been talking something else. But go ahead.
Okay, so I'm about to say that sounds like a good way to end the show right there. I don't know.
All entertainment until it's not.
Exactly.
Because when it's not, it's actually living life.
That's a quality one. That's a quality one, ladies and gentlemen. But listen, thank you all for listening. Hope you all enjoyed it so far. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone who's anyone about the show. My name is Trey, and as you heard earlier, this is Reggie. And we're just on just living life. That's what we on today. So hope you all enjoyed it. Take care.
Yo, yo.
Yo, yo.